Ever had someone who just won't leave your thoughts? That quiet pull when you see their name pop up? That lingering what if at 2 a.m.? Schopenhauer nailed it. People pretend to forget, but real obsession carves itself into us. The harder we fight it, the deeper it digs. So how do you know if she's still trapped in that cycle? These 7 psychological signs reveal when a woman can't truly let go, even when she swears she has. First sign is she checks your social media secretly. That quiet presence in your stories, her name always there, watching without a like, without a trace, means more than she'll ever admit. She tells herself it's nothing, just a quick glance, but psychology whispers the truth. The harder someone tries to hide their interest, the deeper it burns. If she didn't care, she'd scroll right past, but she doesn't. She stops. She lingers. She lets the seconds count down, absorbing every detail, then disappears without a sound. That's not indifference. That's restraint. She's afraid of getting caught, afraid of looking weak, afraid that one tiny heart might reveal what she's been denying. So she stays silent, thinking no one notices. But you do. And that's the irony. The more she hides, the more she gives herself away. Because real detachment doesn't watch. Real forgetting doesn't keep track. If she's still there, hovering in the shadows of your digital life, it's not by accident. It's because no matter how hard she tries, she can't bring herself to let go. Second sign is she acts cold, but can't ignore you. Schopenhauer was right when he said, people only pretend to forget. Real obsession leaves marks. And those marks aren't in her words. They're in the way her breath catches when you walk into the room, the way she laughs a little too hard at your jokes, but then stiffens, catching herself. She says she's over it, but her body betrays her. A lingering glance, a pause before she turns away, the way she still remembers the little things you thought no one noticed. If she were truly done, she wouldn't flinch when your name comes up. She wouldn't tense when someone mentions you, wouldn't still know your schedule by heart. The heart has a funny way of clinging even when the mind insists it's moved on. So watch closely. Listen to what she doesn't say. Because the truth isn't in her voice. It's in the quiet tremble of her hands, the way she looks at you when she thinks you won't notice. That's not indifference. That's someone who's still fighting to let go. Third sign is she gets jealous over small things. Schopenhauer knew the truth when he wrote, "We forget our joys but not our jealousies. They linger like shadows long after the light is gone." And that's exactly what's happening when she casually, too casually, asks if you're seeing someone, or when her smile tightens at the mention of your name. She claims she doesn't care, but jealousy doesn't lie. That flicker in her eyes, the way she changes the subject too fast or suddenly gets quiet, it's not indifference. It's the quiet ache of someone who still measures time in before and after you. Real detachment doesn't ask questions. Real moving on doesn't flinch. But if she's still keeping score, still reacting, still pretending she's just curious, that's not closure. That's someone who can't stand the thought of you belonging to anyone else. And no matter how much she denies it, that sharp little sting when your name comes up, that's all the proof you need. You're still under her skin, and she hates how much she likes it. Fourth sign is she remembers tiny details about you. Schopenhauer once wrote that, "Memory is the scribe of the soul," and hers is still writing about you. When she casually mentions your favorite drink you thought she'd forgotten, or brings up that old inside joke out of nowhere, that's not coincidence, that's confession. The brain is ruthless in discarding what doesn't matter, yet hers clings to these tiny fragments of you like treasures. She remembers how you take your coffee, the song you played too often, the way you'd laugh at that stupid phrase, not because she has a good memory, but because you're still living rent-free in her mind. These aren't just recollections, they're relived moments. While people forget whole conversations, they don't accidentally remember the color of your eyes or the way you said their name 3 years ago. So when she drops these little reminders like breadcrumbs, that's her heart's way of saying what her pride won't admit. You're still the bookmark in her story, the footnote she can't stop rereading. The things we truly forget disappear completely, but you're still there in every remembered detail. Fifth sign is she talks about you, even negatively. Schopenhauer saw through human nature when he observed that hatred is merely the inverse confession of love. We only burn with anger toward those who once made us feel alive. That's why her sharp words, those lingering arguments, even her cold indifference aren't proof she's moved on. They're evidence you still matter. The opposite of love isn't hate. It's silence. If she's still talking about you, even in anger, if she still reacts when your name comes up, if she can't shrug off what happened between you, that's not indifference. That's emotion too raw to hide. People don't waste energy hating ghosts. That edge in her voice when she mentions you, that's the sound of someone who still measures your absence like an unfinished sentence. Real detachment is quiet. Real forgetting is peaceful. But if she's still spinning stories, still picking at old wounds, still making sure you know she's over it, that's not closure. That's someone keeping you alive in the only way she knows how, because letting go completely would mean admitting you mattered enough to hurt her. And that's a confession she's not ready to make. Next sign is she posts things to get your attention. Schopenhauer nailed it when he said, "We often pretend indifference when longing is most intense." And that's exactly what's happening when her social media suddenly lights up with sultry selfies or mysterious midnight posts. She claims it's just for fun. But every filtered glance, every carefully cropped photo, every ambiguous caption is a silent shout into the void, with your name written between the lines. The brain doesn't waste energy on performances for strangers. This calculated display takes effort, takes hope, takes that stubborn part of her that still wonders, will he notice? Real confidence posts without agenda. Real moving on doesn't need validation. But those lingering 3-second story views, that outfit she just happened to wear where she knew you'd be, that's not coincidence. That's targeted nostalgia. She's not broadcasting to the world. She's whispering to the one person she's pretending not to miss. Because when we truly stop caring, we stop performing. And if she's still curating moments like love letters in code, you're still the audience she's desperate to captivate. Last but not the least sign is she finds excuses to talk. That oops, wrong number text at midnight wasn't an accident. That random question about something she could have asked anyone else. Not random at all. Every "I just happened to think of you" moment is a carefully calculated slip of the heart, her subconscious betraying what her pride won't admit. She crafts these flimsy excuses like a child building a bridge out of toothpicks, desperate for connection, but terrified of being seen reaching out. The texts come in waves, sometimes a flood of emojis about nothing important, sometimes weeks of silence where she fights herself, but they always return. Because the truth is simple. People who've truly moved on don't keep accidentally falling back into your orbit. They don't resurrect old inside jokes when the conversation lulls, or send songs with lyrics that say what they can't. These aren't coincidences. They're breadcrumbs left by a heart that hasn't found its way home yet. The more trivial the excuse, the louder the unspoken truth echoes. She misses you. And no amount of pretending changes the ache behind those 3 little dots when she starts typing yet another message that doesn't mean anything. So tell us, how many of these signs is she showing? Drop a number below and let's see if she's really over you or just pretending. And hey, tag that one friend who's been in denial about their ex still lurking around. Because sometimes we all need that wake-up call to see what's right in front of us. The truth's in the details, so start counting. Your answer might surprise you. Comment below, how many?